Back here on the Meat Speak podcast, powered by the certified Angus beef brand. Brian Schaaf with me via teleconference. Chef Tony Biggs, how you doing, sir?
Oh, Brian, I thank God I walk 4,000 steps a day to get rid of this belly of food. I mean, what do you do when you're quarantined? You eat, you cook, you eat, you drink a little bourbon once in a while, but oh my gosh, I can't wait to go back to work. How about you?
You know what? I've really dug into and remembered how much I love some really simple foods. Like, this is going to sound silly, but I love a really cheap bologna sandwich on a simple bun with a little ketchup and some potato chips. Delightful.
There's no problem with comfort food. You know what I like? I like toast, a fried egg, some cheddar cheese, melted on some bacon. Bam, done.
All day long, twice on Sunday.
Speaking of bam, are we going to talk Cayman Cookout today, brother?
Yeah, so Chef, we are going to take a moment, and we're actually going to look back in time before we were all on Zoom calls and quarantines and lockdowns. And a couple months ago, you and a few other select employees of this fine company went to Cayman Cookout, as we have done for many, many years, cooking even before you joined the brand. Cayman Cookout is one of those things. Every city, it seems, every major city these days has, you know, a food and wine or a wine and food festival, or however you want to term it. Cayman Cookout is kind of that, but it's kind of ratcheted up a little bit in terms of the folks you get to interact with are folks that you don't just see every day. I mean, can you tell us a little bit about Cayman and what you dig about it?
Well, this is I feel like I'm getting old when every time Chef Frederick has a meeting, he goes around the room and says, okay, how many cookouts has it been? Now I'm like third or fourth with 6 cookouts. And I love Chef. Okay, one of the reasons I love Cayman Cookout is, number one, I love Chef Frederick. He's the executive chef of the Ritz-Carlton. He's a gentleman, a scholar, and he puts on there is a lot of detail that goes into the Cayman Cookout, not only from the food, but gathering all the chefs, the spirits, the wines, the different functions, make sure they go flawless, he makes sure his staff is, zoomed in on all the details. I would say the details of the Cayman Cookout make it what it is. I mean, it's over the top. It's exclusive, so it's not large. It's not a large event. It is, but it's not. So we are sponsors. Certified Angus Beef is a sponsor of the Cayman Cookout. We've been doing that before my time at Certified Angus Beef. But when I started, they asked me if I wanted to have a station, and I said, heck, why not? And the first thing I wanted to do was do a whole side of beef on the beach, and they went, Wait a minute. We don't know who you are. We don't know what you're about. We don't know if you can handle this. Take it easy. Just do some simple things. And so we've been I do Certified Angus Beef. We do 3 events for the Cayman Cookout, usually in January, when it's freezing on the East Coast and snowing. The beautiful tropical weather is just what the Biggs needs at this time. It's just perfect. It's after Christmas and it's after New Year's, and folks want to get down there. This is Eric Repair, who is last year had the best restaurant in America.
La Bernardin.
La Bernardin. And this is his cookout, along with Anthony Bourdain, God rest his soul. So, as we all know, Anthony passed last year, but he was a staple of the Cayman Cookout, and his fans and people from around the world who adored him would show up to Cookout just to get photos and be next to him. So God rest his soul. But it has grown into the celebrities of Andrew Zimmern, who we all know. Jose Andres is probably the biggest draw next to Eric. But Emeril Lagasse, who's my favorite, he's a great guy, and he's there. And then we have 6 or 7 different other celebrity chefs from around the world. So it's exclusive. It's top notch. It's fun. We do a beach barbecue on the first night of the Cayman Cookout, which I have taken probably a quarter of the beach just to do my part. We've done everything from cooking tomahawks on a homemade $80 Walmart swing over embers of fire to cooking sirloin steaks on pitchforks and deep frying them, to sword fights with my guests and customers who come. They want a picture. They want a sword fight. We have these big swords where we can put whole big beef ribs on and just roast them for hours. And then we have the longest line all time. I mean, even the chefs come up and go, "Tony, you always have the longest lines." Well, hey, we're serving beef. Now, who doesn't love beef, especially certified Angus beef, right? And so we just throw down. It's a major beef coma. Second day, we go out to a place called Rum Point. Rum Point's a little island. We all get on a boat at 8 o'clock with Bloody Marys, and Chef Frederick hooks us up really cool. And then we get to our stations. We have a couple hours to prepare with our staff. And then we're on a beach on an island, and we wait for our guests to come, and 300 folks show up there. And we do small bites, small plates. And I've done everything from beef pokey to halo halo, which is a Philippine dessert, to brisket on the grill, sandwiches, certified Angus beef sliders with portobello mushroom and pickled shrimp. And so we've done, it's just fun. And we make a lot of friends, a lot of relationships during that time. On Sunday, we do the brunch. So we do a certified Angus beef, a high-end. We're asked to do a high-end filet mignon or a strip with poached egg or something like that, or a hash, which goes well with beef. So our station is probably the only one that does a small plate breakfast item with beef. Maybe there's another one. But again, it's about relationships. Chef Frederick, I hope he asks me back again. I think he will. But it's just a lot of fun. It's camaraderie. The same guys come back, and it's one of my favorite events.
Outstanding. Chef, on that note, let's go ahead and turn the page and dive into a lot of the interviews and pieces that you would have collected during this year's 2020 Cayman Cookout, hosted by Eric Repair and friends.
Hey, Emeril Lagasse here, and you are listening to the Meat Speak podcast.
Chef Tony here. We're in the beautiful Grand Cayman, and I have really special guests here that I have looked up to in my career. There's no introduction for Mr. Emeril Lagasse. Thank you for taking this time here to be with us on the podcast, and we just love you, and I love you, and I've been a fan of yours forever, and my wife is a fan of yours forever because she makes your beef stew recipe with the beer and the seasonings, your Emeril Essence, at least twice a month.
That's a real good one.
Tell us, you having a good time in Cayman?
Yeah, it's been a little busy. Yesterday we had our demo, and about 120 tasting portions of a muffalata octopus salad. A great cocktail by our good buddy. And day before we had a lunch, and we sort of did a little inspiration to my mom. So it was sort of more of a Portuguese kind of lunch with caldo verde and crusty bread that we started with, and peri-peri chicken and snapper and a Portuguese sauce and lemon potatoes. It was really great. God. And then great desserts, Portuguese desserts, little tartlets and traditional tartlets, mother sadas. So it's been busy, and now here we are. I like this event. This event is not only one of Eric's favorites, but he turned me on to this last year, and I said, well, I got to come back for this. This is way too much fun.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's small.
You know how many people I tried to talk to me the last day or two, who's tried to get into this thing, and they can't get in. It's closed. They don't. That's the great thing about this. They're not going to load it up with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, right? They put a limit on it of what they can do. Keep it intimate as possible. How many chefs did you count, Tom? 12?
There's 12 chefs right here.
Right here.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
From all around the world.
And incredible different variety of foods. Ours probably not expected as, representing New Orleans, because we're doing mushu cobia.
Nice!
With an uni hoisin sauce. It's a little different for us, but last year we did a little bit more traditional. We did a sea urchin boudin, but, being sea urchins, they live here, I'd like to get some of that lionfish, but
I know, right?
It's we serve it at one of the restaurants on the coast, and we have a couple of guys that dive for them, and when we can get them, and they're really delicious. They're a pain in the neck to clean.
Are they?
Oh yeah, because they have all of these like pointers, right?
Okay.
So you can poke yourself pretty good if you don't know how to clean them. But what else is going on? You were a little busy last night.
Oh my gosh, chef! We cooked 150 tomahawks,
unbelievable,
36 ounce, and then we did our steak fondue just for you. Put them on pitchforks. We didn't use tweezers here, chef. The pitchforks.
Right.
So deep fry them, and I hope you came by. I think you did come by and taste it, and
I didn't stay very long, but I tasted your dish.
Thank you,
and
chef.
a couple of dishes, and went on. There was a lot of people, a lot of hungry people. I didn't want to get in their way, so.
Chef, thank you for taking your time.
Absolutely.
With me. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
And,
give your wife my best, please.
Yeah, I will. And
tell her
she
to keep
loves
stewing.
The beef stew
I love it.
Thank you very much, Chef.
Thanks, guys.
Chef Emeril Lagasse.
Thank you.
I've got a good friend of mine. I met him 6 years ago, and this was my first Cayman Cookout 6 years ago. And Chef Frederick, I went into his office about a month before that, and I was so nervous because, just the magnitude of the Cayman Cookout that Chef Frederick has put together is just incredible. The details, the food, the lineup that he has put together is just unimaginable. I mean, to keep all this in his head at all times and make sure everybody's in this place is just amazing. You're a good friend, Chef. I appreciate your friendship. We have Chef Frederick from the Ritz-Carlton Grand Cayman. Chef, tell us about this. How did this brainchild come up? And
remember, Tony, when we met 6 years ago, you came to me and you said, I think I'm on to roast the whole cow on the beach. And I look at you and I say, who's this guy? I was like, I said, why don't we take it easy first, Tony, and let's start with a few cuts first, and then we'll go from there. But 6 years after, I'm ready now to give him his whole cow on the beach.
Yes!
Because, the most impressive thing is, we've been doing this for 12 years now, and the first year was all about the celebrity chefs. But with Tony, ingenuity and creativities, and also flavorful recipes, our guests are expecting as much Tony's station than Eric Ripper's station or Emeril Lagasse's station or Daniel Boulu's station. His line is as big as all the other guys, so I think he should be very proud of that.
Oh, well, I'm humbled, Chef. I'm very humbled, but I want to go with you. I mean, this was your brainchild 12 years ago.
Yeah.
How did it start? Did it start with one chef, two chefs?
It started before I arrived in Cayman. I arrived in Cayman in 2008, and they had the first small Cayman Cookout in 2007. It was in September, so September it's a very slow period for the Cayman Island overall. So that was not really the right time to do it. And then they decided to start another one bigger in 2009, January 2009. So I was in the property for 2 months. And when you arrive in a property, that's not the first thing you focus on. You want to, start to see what's happening and start to make your mark and start to change menus. But then, I arrived in November, and then towards mid-December, that cookout was coming in about 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm looking at who's coming and what we have to do, and I say, I'm going to need some help. So I call a good friend of mine, Xavier Salomon, who at the time was the chef from the Ritz-Carlton Half Moon Bay, California. And I said, why don't you come? I have a big house, 4-bedroom. I'll put you in my house, but I need your help during the day. And then I also brought a pastry chef, Stéphane Cherami, from the Ritz-Carlton Orlando, and that's how it started. So it was about 3 Ritz-Carlton chefs and 10 celebrity chefs. And today, 2020, we have 12 celebrity chefs and 25 French chefs, between sponsors like you, Tony, and then chef from the French Master Chef Associations, chef from the Marriott luxury brands. So it's, and just buddies, and not counting the local chef. There's another 25 local chefs are here. So if you want to see chef, then Cayman Cookout is the right place.
Chef, how many did we do last night? I mean, that was a party.
How many
did we do? 1,000?
It's about 1,000 people. Yeah, we had 12 stations, 1,000 people. We killed a few cow for that.
I can't wait. And today we're on Rum Point. Rum Point is, Chef has arranged a boat ride for all the chefs. It takes about a half an hour to come over here. Chef, this is the way you take care of people. It's just a humble and lovely, I love you, man.
It's a whole team effort, it's the whole hotel. The Ritz-Carlton Grand Cayman have 900 employees altogether. And during that 4 or 5 days, everyone works non-stop, making sure that they're happening. So while you're taking care, I have the good job of taking care of all the chefs, have people behind me. For example, today we all took a boat at 8:30 to arrive here, but all my sous chefs and my cooks left at 5:30 in the morning from the truck and buses.
That's right.
And when we arrive, that's why we have time to sit down and do interview, because pretty much everything is done.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Chef, thank you very much for taking the time out to do the podcast. I look forward to doing this event till I'm 80, okay?
Yeah,
80 years old, so that's another 20 years.
And I want to thank Certified Angus Beef for the support each and every year.
Thank you very much, Chef.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
I got Chef Jasper here from the Ritz-Carlton, Colorado. The name of the property, Chef?
Bachelor Gulch.
Bachelor Gulch, and let me tell you something. I have found a new friend. He bailed me out of cooking 80 tomahawks, 36 ounce last night. He's got fire in his lungs, yes. And he is still breathing. And we're walking today, and we're on Rum Point. Chef, first of all, thank you very much for bailing me out of the weeds last night with the tomahawks.
My pleasure, Tony.
And you know what you're doing. But, tell us what you do with Ritz-Carlton. Tell us about your career, and just give us a lowdown on you, man. Who are you?
Well, kind of an island boy, grew up on Long Island. Parents moved to Kauai about 30 years ago. Been in the Caribbean off and on for about 9 years, so it's nice to get back to the warmth in the Caribbean. But I'm in the mountains, cooking a lot of meat, doing a lot of great fish. I used to work for Eric Repair at Azor by Le Bernardin when Eric used to have a restaurant. So proud to be a part of his Cayman Cookout this year in 2020. And made a great friend last night cooking tomahawks out on the grill with Tony Briggs and his pitchfork fondue, no tweezer cuisine. Pitchfork.
Chef, that's it. No, that's the saying. No tweezers, pitchforks only. But I'm not going to swear. Okay, I swore too much last night.
Yeah, and, having a ball.
But you know what? So many people came up to your station, our grill.
Yep.
And they picked the tomahawk up, and I really appreciate you getting the photos with it.
Yep.
There had to be 1,000 photos.
Oh, it was amazing last night. People just, oh my God, I could put that glove on and grab one of these big steaks and take a bite. Go for it. We were having a ball. It's the innovation, the ideas, and the thoughts that Chef Tony brought to the table last night. I've got a couple ideas now going back up into the mountains and getting some pitchforks and maybe deep frying some tenderloins.
Chef, now we've become buddies.
Yep.
I'm gonna turn you on to our beef. I'm not gonna mention it. You know what I'm talking about.
CAB.
CAB. What else you want to bring, Chad? You brought your family here?
Brought family. Oh, my God. My daughter is an island baby. She grew up in Anguilla after 15 months. Spent there until about 5 years old, and then in the Bahamas. So we're kind of happy to be back playing in the sand and eating some cotton candy and enjoying the Cayman Cookout.
I got to tell you, the Ritz-Carlton brand is world-renowned. It's a high level of service and food, and for you to be able to be on that team, that's like epic. And I know you've worked in some other Ritz-Carltons. I'm just kind of like in awe of all of you. You and all the different chefs here from Ritz-Carlton. Tell us a little bit about that experience working for the Ritz. It's just like no other brand.
It is. It's truly, you can call, as we say, our brothers, or sisters. It's at the end of the day, we do task force. We help each other out in need. It's a great part, the camaraderie between everybody. The amazing thing in this event is when you've got 30 other chefs in the kitchen. Nobody's raising their voice. Everybody's working together as a team, laughing, joking, having fun. Everybody's tasting what everybody else is doing and learning new techniques. And it's kind of, you don't get to see that a lot. Obviously, you work in your house and your playground, and then you get to come to these events and see other people's innovations and what they do with food and other take and taste and flavors, and work with some great chefs and celebrity chefs. And it's an amazing opportunity. The company is based on a lot of foundations of ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen, and it's amazing to watch the house team here at Grand Cayman from the Ritz-Carlton with Chef Frederick and Marcello and their team doing an amazing job, smiling and just doing it with pleasure.
Hey, Chef, we're now we're buddies in Tokes now.
Yes.
And I hope to see you at our center in Worcester, Ohio. But I'm going to come up and see you in Colorado because I love skiing. It's a pleasure knowing you. And
Same here,
good
Chef.
luck today.
Thank you.
And thank you for
too.
being on the Meat Speak podcast. Listen up. God, it's my pleasure. If you're listening to this music, this beautiful reggae music, we're on the island of Rum Point, which is right off the island of Grand Cayman. And I have met so many friends over the years, and I have to have my friend Jean Bonnet on. And I love his wife, but I'm going to tell you a little story before we get into it. We're at the cocktail reception the other night. A lady gets stung by a bee, and Jean Bonnet's wife, Karen, fiercely runs over to the lady's hand and actually pulls the stinger out with her teeth. I was so impressed. I got this on video. I posted it on Instagram. Jean Bonnet, your wife, I tell you, let's talk about her for a minute. What a character and lovely woman. I love her. Welcome to the Meat Speak podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, she's great. I think everybody needs a wife. We cannot do anything without. Even we have a good cook, we're good chefs. She's not here, I'm nothing. So it's a great combination. We're together for 39 years, and we're going to reopen a new restaurant together again because we love working together. And without her, I won't do it.
That's good, Chef. Tell us about what you do for the Master Chefs. That's very intriguing.
So I've been Master Chef for more than 30 years, maybe. Yeah, 30 years. And when I moved to the States, the worldwide president, named me as the president in 2006, and since then I tried to get some new French chef to become Master Chef. So we got a big selection, and we got you have to be a special chef to become Master Chef.
Cool. Very nice. Yeah. Do you like doing that? Do you like? I saw pictures on your Instagram with. We know Daniel Boulou is here, and then Chef Keller. That must have been nice. That looked like a great event.
Yeah, last year we did. Every year we do a big réunion. I would say family réunion, but yeah, we become family. We become friends, and so Daniel is part of it, of course. So last year we went to California with Xavier Salomon. A few other chefs, all the chefs from San Francisco were here, and we decided to with the president of the Master Chef, a real one, not me, a big one, to give a medal of honor to Thomas Keller for what he does for the cooking and for French cooking. Because if you ask him, he says he's a French cook. He's not a French cook, but he knows French cooking, and he knows French cooking
and the technique.
Sometimes technique much better than some of the French chefs. So, and he's very very open to all the chefs and all the cooks, and he does a lot of things for kids and for young chefs. So we were very. I was very happy to be able to give him the medal, and I think he was very touched too. So it was good.
Chef, what's your favorite cut of meat? What's your favorite cut? What do you like eating when you go to a restaurant?
New York steak.
New York steak. That's mine.
Yeah,
That's mine.
okay,
Yeah, beautiful. Gosh. we're having so much fun here in Cayman. I tell you, Chef, thank you very much for being on the Meat Speak podcast. We've had this friendship for a little bit. Let's continue it. And love your wife. Tell her I love her. And
Okay, she's coming.
good. Well, I'm going to give her a big hug and kiss.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for being on our
Thank you.
podcast. Take care.
See you.
All right. 6 years ago, I washed up on the shores of Grand Cayman, just like the Pilgrims in Plymouth Rock. And who's the first person I met?
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. My favorite lady of Grand Cayman. Oh, Mo Kuban.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Are you kidding me? We're sitting out here at Rum Point.
Can you believe this?
Cayman Cookout 2020. It's pretty fabulous.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, tell us what you've been doing for the last year. You're a culinary director. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing here. You're a born, raised Caymanian, right?
Well, I was actually born in Canada.
Okay. Wow.
Born in Vancouver, but I moved here when I was very young, and I've been here for most of my life. Been back and forth, and we do all things culinary here. It started off really as a wellness company, and then of course wellness food. People are more interested in, we know we have to exercise, we've got to be better, we've got to do all of those things, but I mean, I've always had a big passion for food and eating well. So it was a nice integration to be able to bring that together, and then making people realize that eating healthy doesn't mean that you have to eat bland. And then taking that level and then really applying it to high quality ingredients, spicing things up, being thoughtful about the things where they're coming from,
well,
the quality.
I really want to try iguana. So is there an iguana problem on this island?
There was.
Tell us a little bit about this iguana problem.
There was an invasive species that came through a couple of years ago, and then it came to the point where it was starting to become really quite volatile. So what the government decided to do is have a culling, which actually worked out quite well. So iguana now is becoming something you might see on a couple of restaurant menus, but also we've got a lot of cool local things. I mean, you've been here for how long? And this is conch season, it's lobster season. We've got whelks, we've got a variety of different things. And not only that, we work with great purveyors like Progressive Distributors who bring in everything, right? I mean, if you want a scallop from Japan, that comes in. And I mean, of course, you've been partners for a long time with them, so Yeah, so we've, it's been wonderful.
Do you like champagne? Do you love champagne?
Oh, I guess if I have to drink it.
Is it going to be like Moet Chandon?
I think so. They're definitely one of the sponsors. There's Charles Joly is here. He is amazing. We've got the whole beverage team from the Ritz-Carlton. Amba does an amazing job. So this is going to be quite an event today.
Well, it's so glad to have you here.
Thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank you for being on our Meat Speak podcast. It's hard to get out, I know, especially when you Meat Speak. Anyway, love you, baby.
Love you too.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Mwah. Have fun.
Hey, Gerard, great seeing you, man.
Great to see you.
We've been here about 6 years now. We've known each other, and every year we kind of catch up over the Cayman Cookout. And you are the master of sous vide. And I love what you do, and you're just like revolutioning the world with what you do. Tell our folks exactly what you do and how you could help them in sous vide.
Well, sous vide is about precision cooking. It's about the right time and the right temperature. And as you know, as a expert in meats, everything has a special time and special temperature. For the meat, it's dissolving the collagen, the connective tissue, but some vegetable, it's starch. It's really about precision. That's why it's been embraced, sous vide has been embraced by so many chefs like Daniel Boulud, Thomas Keller, Jose Andres. I mean, I could go on and on the list. With our school at CREA, we have trained 48 3-star Michelin and so many other chefs. The chefs need more precision. They are here to deliver a great experience to their customer, and they want to make sure they achieve that every single time. And having a great raw material and a precision cooking, that's what they do.
Well, you do like the Sunday brunch, which is going to be tomorrow at the Cayman Cookout, the Ritz-Carlton, Grand Cayman, and you do a poached egg that is just epic. It's beautiful, and it's sous vide. Tell us what your dish is going to be tomorrow and how you're going to prepare that.
Well, we have, talking about eggs, we are, maybe some of you are familiar, we do the sous vide egg bite for Starbucks.
That's right, Starbucks, his company. That's
yes,
right.
And
right.
We do quite a bit number. We do about 1 million.
Every time I drive through to get my coffee now, Chef, I'm going to think of you, all right, to get that,
yes.
the sous vide egg bite.
And we do about 1 million a day. So eggs is very delicate to poach. It's even harder than meat. So here, time and temperature is essential to deliver a good product. Talking about the poached eggs, it's called the perfect eggs, 63.2. And depending how you like it, you can cook it for 45 minutes to 1 hour. But you have the velvety yolk, those 45 minutes, it's so silky. And the white is more like a light tofu. And, it's not like you don't get the vinegar taste like you poach an eggs. So you get the true flavor of a beautiful eggs.
Wow. I am hungry already. Matt, can you ready tomorrow
you
for
can
poached eggs?
We can do a steak and eggs tomorrow.
That's what I'm
eggs.
doing, but I didn't poach the eggs. Okay,
come
next next year, you and I will team
Yes.
up. I'll do the steak, you do the egg, and then that's what we should have done this year. Yeah,
Yes,
actually.
yes.
You know that?
Today I'm doing a pork belly. It's a Berkshire. It's cooked for 40 hours. We marinate it in the bag for 35 hours. And then directly we cook it right away. So another 40 hours. So really the process is 75 hours.
I tasted it yesterday. It was amazing. You put it on the grill for me. It seared it. It was delicious. You had some seasoning on it that was magnificent. And wow, it was magnificent.
You should stop at the sushi place. I gave them some. They make a sushi. I told them to put the unagi sauce on it. They torch it. It tastes like a toro tuna. It just melts in your mouth. So it's not just about eggs and bacon or pork belly. It's you can do so many things with it.
Amazing. Hey, chef, thank you very much for your time. I know you're busy. We got stations here, but it's a pleasure.
It's not about work. It's about playing also.
It's about playing.
It's a best commute today. I don't know.
We're gonna drink some champagne, right?
Coming to the island on a boat. I love this commute. No traffic jam. All right, chef. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's party.
We'll see you. Let's party, baby. Thank you.